Hello everybody. We will now go through the session where we will understand how to conduct our lectures, share our notes with the students, and also create assignments in Microsoft Team. Microsoft Team can be accessed from your official Office 365 license. So you can also go to www.office365.com, and from there you have the access to work on Team and Microsoft platform. Once you log into Microsoft Teams, you actually come across the first area which says that how can I create my team or how can I join a team. So there are two parts in the first entry of Microsoft Team. The first area, the area which you see here, the entire white zone, this is basically the area where you can see all your teams, your classworks, and so on and so forth. On the left hand side, you see this is basically the area which we can call it as the mine area, the me area. I call this as the me area. The area where all my chats, my activities, my teams, assignments, calendar meetings, everything which is pertaining to me can be viewed from my left hand side. All this is related to the V part, which is everything related to do with my team, my assignments, my classrooms is there in this particular section of my whiteboard. Now, how do I first create a team? So I click on Join Team. So this is the part where I have the ability to create a team. Join a team is basically done by the students whom you have invited to join your classroom. Now this is purely from a faculty, professors or teachers training purpose, so which means that you will use this for your organization. There are other areas where public teams have been created, so I will not get into those particular part as a part of this tutorial. I will leave this tutorial only to the purpose of the education area, where faculties, teachers and professors can use team very effectively to conduct their class, organize their assignments, organize their materials for sharing, and also make the students participate in the way you actually do that in a physical classroom. Now let's create a team. When you start creating a team, Microsoft Team has 4 options of creating a different type. Now, since we're talking from an education perspective, we will be focusing only on the class type, which is the class type which is very relevant from the education business. Whereas there are other areas to create different team type. For example, an HOD, and head of department, would like to interact with all his faculties and the teachers. So he would like to create a team type as staff. Students among themselves can also create a team type, so they will use others. The sheer difference between the types of teams out here is that it's only in the class type of team is where you have the features of giving assignments and grades. And also you have the feature of something called as a class notebook. A class notebook is something like a folder where you have kept all the repositories of the documents you want to share with the students, the questionnaires, the case studies which you want to give to the students. So there's some sort of a folder. That's what it is called as Microsoft Classbook, which is not available in the other 3 types because you don't need class notebooks. And as it goes without saying that you really don't want to give assignments and grades to your staff. That's the only difference out here. So let's create a class. The purpose here is for faculties, teachers and professors. How do I create a class? So give a name to your class. So let's say if you're taking marketing management, and let me give this name to this class as marketing management. You can give your descriptions for this class if required, or you can just leave it as it is. So I click on next. As the team creates the class, the virtual class, now you have the option of manually entering the student's name. Now, since Microsoft 365 comes within the organization enterprise license limit, which means that all the students who are going to join your class will have to be as a part of the organization, which means that they should have an organization provided email ID. Having said that, there are other students who may not be a part of organization but still want to join your class, and they may have personal IDs such as gmail.com, Hotmail or Outlook. So those students can be included in your classroom like guest. So that's how it is. But then it's not physically possible or feasible to enter email IDs of 60 students. So how will I go about doing that? The feature in Microsoft Teams is you can actually send them an email of a link which we will ask them to join, or you can send them a class code. By entering the class code, they can join the team. Now, how will I send a class code to my team? What you see here right now is that Microsoft Teams has actually created a class, and the name of the class is Marketing Management. Now, in my Marketing Management class, which has been created right now, if you see here, by default, there's something called as General. Now, what is General? General is nothing but a channel. So whenever you create a class, by default, a general channel gets created. So this is the first step on how you create a team. Now, in the next session, I'm going to talk about how you can join all your students just by sending them a code. I will also show you the difference between sending them a link to join the class and sending them a code. What is the main difference between sending them a link to the class versus just sending a code? So let's see that in our next class. Thank you very much.